Hi, I'm Jeff Bailey, founder of Avita Yoga, and in this short video, I'm going to show you 3 shapes and movements for lower back pain. This is yoga that gets to the problem, and where's the problem? It's in the joints, it's in the bones. We don't go to get muscles replaced, we get joints fixed and replaced. And there is a way to keep them healthy and mobile. This is it. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel, and that way you can stay tuned to all of my videos as they roll out. Lots of helpful stuff. You may also be interested in downloading my free guide to Avita Yoga. It explains all the details, the physiology, and why this works. So let's get started. First of all, the spine is a stack of bones, and between every single bone, there's a joint. Those joints are designed to flex and extend. So first, let's get into some simple extension. You don't need any special props for this class. You're going to lie on your belly. So can you lie on your belly, have your toes pointing in and your heels pointing out? Now this is extension of the lumbar spine primarily, but really the entire spine. We're going to focus on extension of the entire spine. Support with the hands on the floor in front of you, and discern right away, is the pain too intense on the low back? If it is, you slowly walk your hands away from you, and look, it lowers my torso toward the floor, diminishing the impact in my lower back. So I'm going to find the place where my hands are supporting me, my forearms are supporting me, and I can relax my shoulders toward the ceiling. I rest the head down, I relax the neck, I allow my elbows and forearms to support me. The entire spine hangs like a hammock toward the floor. It hangs from the shoulders, it hangs from the hips. If it's doable, you can have the arrangement so that your elbows are almost directly underneath the shoulder. Palms flat, head hanging. And if you look closely, the shoulders move toward the ceiling as the spine drops toward the floor. What are we doing here? We're asking the soft tissues and the muscles to relax and release. And as they release, all the vertebral bodies, the facets where the bones touch and where the vertebral bodies interact with the ribs, those are called facets. They're all getting healthy compression. So we relax in the shape. We spend anywhere from 1 to 2, sometimes more, minutes. Relaxing passively in the shape. The buttocks have to relax. Once again, we adjust the arms either forward or backward so that the pressure in the low back is not painful and instead very sustainable. When the time is right, you adjust with your hands, push yourself up and back to all fours. Now, we're going to put the knees wide on the mat, toes in, and the heels out. So if I look back between my legs, I can see my big toes almost touching each other, and the heels out. And then I slowly sink back into that space. I stop and I slow down when I get knee restriction or hip restriction or sensation in my ankles, feet, maybe even the lower back. You've got to think as your body as a project. We have projects around the house, but we forget about our body as a project. So if it's low back pain, maybe there's a hip issue that's adding to it. We sink back into the shape 3-4 times a week. You can do this. Sink back, touch into the restriction. Don't be afraid of it. Give it the compression that it's craving. And with time and practice, you will start to be able to sink further and further into the shape. It's a long-term project for many, but the months and the weeks are going to go by regardless. Give your body some attention. Give your joints and bones the pressure they love. Again, wherever the sensation starts to speak to you, that's where you stop. This is kind of the full expression. I've worked through knee and hip stuff to get here, but it is a release for the low back. And now we're asking the lumbar spine to flex a little bit. We're asking it to curve forward in the shape. I can actively reach the arms away, spread the fingers, open up through the armpits, the lateral part of the shoulders. I feel the rib cage expand. See, I can be active in the shape, reaching and pressing out into the floor. I feel the movement of the breath, and I welcome all the feedback. Maybe the expression isn't full for you, so the shape could look like this. Maybe you sit back a little ways. Maybe you support with a bolster, a block, something to give you some support along the way. The third shape. Hardly anything better than legs up the wall. We're going to need a bolster for this. You're going to sit in close to the wall. Put your legs up, lie back at the same time, bend your knees, and a bolster is pretty ideal, but you can fold up a blanket, add a couple inches at least underneath the pelvis, just the pelvis, and then we let the belly relax, we let the low back drop toward the floor. We rest the hands out to the sides, palms up, and we let the shape work for us. We're always doing that in this practice, whether we're active or passive. The shape is working for us. The yoga comes to us. The throat is open, the airway open, the eyes can be closed, the belly relaxed. And I'm letting gravity do the work, passively moving my lumbar spine toward the floor. It is a deep release for the musculature, the fascia, and puts healing compression into the bones. And here we would spend a fair amount of time. Some people even end up taking naps in this shape. It's very relaxing. When the time is right, you bend your knees, you press into the wall, you move the tailbone toward the ceiling, belly down, lift the hips, remove your support, palms down now. Slowly lower bit by bit. I'm engaging the low abs to bring the pubic bone toward the sternum. And I'm pressing into the feet a bit. As slow as I possibly can. The lower I go, the slower I go. Bit by bit, lowering the spine down to the floor. And then I extend the legs up once again, palms up toward the ceiling, rest. We bend the knees, roll onto one side, and push yourself up. If legs up the wall is too demanding, then you're going to put your knees up on the seat of your sofa or over an ottoman. it's still enough to get the release into the lower back. That's what we're looking for. Legs up the wall, while it can be challenging for some, is a good long-term goal to have. Everyone should be able to get their legs up on the wall and experience the deep relaxation and the reversal on gravity that we put onto the body. It's super healing, very relaxing, and very helpful. I hope you find these helpful. I'm motivated by this practice. I practice 3 to 4 times a week. It works for my bones, it works for my joints, it works for my peace of mind. It works for many others. I hope you'll consider coming back to these classes regularly. Thank you very much for joining me, and namaste.